Hey, everybody. It's Pat here at Dancing Moon Travel in sunny Florida, and here with my sidekick, Kevin, our marketing director. I don't know about Dublin, Kevin.
It's partly cloudy, Dublin.
That's about as good as it gets, I think, this time of year for you guys. But uh, welcome. We're delighted you're here. We're glad to welcome you to our weekly Let's Talk Travel. And Kevin, before we really get into the meat of things here, did you have a word to share about our September giveaway that we're planning for our people who watch live?
Yeah, for all those people that watch live, every month we give away a great prize. And the way you enter the contest or the drawing, it's not a contest, is to stay to the end of our presentation and I'll give a mystery word. And you just type that mystery word in the comments and you can win a great gift. This month, the gift is this luggage scale. And if you've ever been any place, gone to an airport, they weighed your bags and they say, sorry, you're at 53 pounds. That could cost you up to $100 for being an overweight bag. So you can use this little scale and weigh your luggage before you ever get to the airport. And as a bonus, we have a great book called 1000 Places to See Before You Die. It's 1,200 pages. So great gifts there. Stay to the end, put in the magic words, and you might win.
Wow. I need one of those scales, Kevin. I have been that person who is overweight with my luggage, and it's not much fun. But on with our show here. Uh, we have a terrific guest with us today. I'm excited to have Royal Caribbean on board with us here. But before we bring Abby on with us, Kevin, we have that brief little video. So would you mind playing that just to show
Sure.
people their latest, greatest?
Here we go.
Wow. Anybody.
Sorry.
It's okay. It stutters sometimes. Anybody who thinks bored on a cruise ship, not on this ship. But let's enough of this. But let's get on. Abby, welcome. We have
Hello.
delighted Abby Koff-Brown from Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. Welcome. We're delighted to have you joining us today and giving us an update of everything Royal Caribbean.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And oh my God, I haven't seen Odyssey. I'm ready to get on her. I'm ready. I'm hoping it would be this November, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for her to get back.
Yeah, it is coming. It is coming, and it's so exciting. And so, Abby, before we kind of get into the Royal Caribbean stuff, tell me a little bit about your background in tourism and the travel industry, and your time with Royal Caribbean. Could you share that with us? What you love about this?
Absolutely. Well, I have been in the hospitality travel business for a long, long time, probably 25 plus years at this point. And I always joke that I'm like planes, trains, and automobiles. I've worked in the hotel business. I've worked in the private jet aviation business. And now I have the pleasure for the past 11 years of working in the cruise industry. And I am so happy. I've been at Royal Caribbean now for going on almost 12 years. So it's very exciting. I love this company.
Well, you've been in here. We've been just a little over 12 years. Dancing Moon Travel started in 2008. So you've been with Royal Caribbean just about the same time that I've been in the travel industry. And you've been fortunate. You started off early in this industry. So
I
back,
was a baby.
I was going to say you're about 2 years old, just toddling around when you started out. But what is it you love about the cruise industry? What's a
I just think that, obviously, first of all, I'm a huge, huge fan of traveling. Like, I am like the person that wants to go and see the entire globe. But I think what's so great about cruising is that it really affords you the ability to see so many beautiful destinations in a really niche kind of way that you wouldn't necessarily see just by traveling. Because typically, when you're traveling to a destination, you typically are hitting those bigger cities and those bigger destinations. And, when you're cruising, you're really getting to go to some really unique destinations and getting to see a lot in one trip, which is I like to do.
it to me, cruising is like travel on the easy button.
Mhm.
It really, it's hard to beat the convenience and the fun factor all rolled into one. I love it. The cruise for my first love when I got in this business. That's what really drew me in was the
Absolutely.
cruise.
And,
Yeah.
and going along with your giveaway, I'm one of those luggage people too that pack a lot. So not having to pack and unpack everywhere is really nice too.
Truly is. Hey, and the cruise lines don't limit you. You don't have that 50 pound limit. It's the doggone airlines that create that hassle. And there's
Yep,
lots Royal Caribbean especially, lots and
absolutely.
lots of rooms, space in the room
Absolutely.
for whatever you drag aboard with you. You don't have that
Mhm.
problem there. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So Abby, about Royal Caribbean, uh, I know all of the cruise lines kind of have their lane and don't try to be all things for all people.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, that said, I know that Royal Caribbean really, really does have probably the broadest appeal
Mhm.
in the industry. Uh, but could you kind of, everybody has their own target. Tell me who listening to this would know that they are an ideal candidate to come on board with Royal Caribbean as opposed to another line.
Another brand. Well, I think that, it's kind of a dual question. I think that, if you were just going to look at our brand maybe in a certain destination like the Caribbean, say, I think it becomes, or maybe Alaska or something like that, you would say, oh, they're maybe more of a family brand, they're more of a generational cruise brand. But then we have also destinations that really don't cater to families. And they're really a destination that, like, I went to Australia, New Zealand with our brand, and there weren't really any children on board the ship. It was all adults. So I think it really depends a lot on the time of year that you're cruising, the destination you're traveling to. But I'd say overall, I think Royal Caribbean is a generational cruising brand. I think our target audience is anywhere from 6 months, because that's how old you have to be in order to cruise on board our ship. And I would say, you really could go up to any age that you want. But I would say, the bulk of it would be your grandparents, your children, and their grandchildren all going together as a family really is a real huge market for us.
Hey, and Kevin, if you could look right now, just what Abby's talking about right now, we actually have a few images of one of our long-term clients who traveled it was over Thanksgiving holidays with their multi-generational family. Kevin, can you pull up a few of those images?
I
Uh,
can. Before I do that, I'm going to show you a couple of images from 2013 when we had a group on Enchantment.
oh, okay.
Aren't those great?
Beautiful. Look at that. What nice shots, gorgeous shots.
So anyway, I wanted to share that. That was Enchantment of the Seas in 2013 with a large group that we hosted.
I
So
remember that.
two great shots. So I'll show what was it? The Janet.
Yeah, Jan's shots there with
Wow, look at That's
They had
great.
so much fun.
What a shot that is. I
And so
love
you
it.
got grandma and grandpa, and then you've got their two sons and their children.
Love it.
And
Love it.
they just had an incredible time. And this is actually their second family cruise. They did one back when that little girl was just a toddler. They did another one. So they're repeats for Royal Caribbean
Beautiful.
family.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yep, that's who we target. And what's so nice, I think, about this whole experience is that there's really something for everyone on board the ship. If you want the kids to go, and I did it with my family. I come from a very large family. There's 7 kids in my family. Have 14 nieces and nephews. And my dad took all of us on a cruise together. We went on a 4-day cruise on the Liberty of the Seas, and it was wonderful. And what was so great is everyone kind of did their thing during the day, and was, some people were in the gym, some people were at the pool, the kids were all over. And then at night, we really got to come back together and all have dinner together as a family. And it was just such a memory that every single person in my family still talks about to this day.
And speaking of that, you guys have something that I don't think any other cruise line does, called your family time. And those of you who have family or have multi-generational, and you might be thinking of a cruise, this is something that Royal does. They'll at dinner time you book the first seating, and you go in, and the whole family comes together. And when the adults are having their appetizers, they come in and they take the kids get their full meal. And then by the time all of that's finished, they're clearing those dishes away. The child care people come in from their adventure. What do they call it?
Adventure Ocean.
Adventure Ocean. Come in and gather up the younger kids under 12 and take them away, so the adults can have a civilized, real sit-down meal together. And the kids then go off to do their thing and play and have, so they're not whining and
Right.
You're crazy. You guys can really, everybody is happy. And when the kids are happy, everybody is happy.
And what's so nice about it is, normally what happens, and if we didn't have that program, one parent has to get up and take the kids and, leaves everyone else at the table. So this is just such a great program that they have this. And what's also great about Adventure Ocean is all of the counselors in our Adventure Ocean program have a 4-year college degree in either child development or education. So these aren't just people or staff members that we're putting in to hang out with kids. These are people that really have training and are educated in the proper way to actually make sure that these kids are stimulated and having a wonderful experience.
And that is so important, because these aren't people that you've grabbed off the street and some nanny program. These are really child care professionals. These are people who want to work with children. So it's really a big thing for families who want to sail. Now, one of the things that I think that people often think about, Abby, with Royal Caribbean, you guys are known for your mega ships for good reason, and they are incredible. I sailed on Anthem of the Seas a few months ago, and it just kind of blew me out of the water. It was a beautiful ship, and the stateroom was huge. We had a regular balcony, and it was so roomy. You guys also have some of the nicest staterooms in the market. But just look at these are all the big ships, and so that's kind of what people tend to think about. But that's not all of your fleet.
No, and I think the thing that people have to realize, the beautiful thing that I love about our larger ships is it really gives you the ability to do what you like. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to a person that got off an Oasis class ship or a Quantum class ship, which obviously are the Oasis are our largest ships in the class, but Quantum and Freedom class. And, you think everyone is going to go do exactly what you're going to do. But some people just don't end up in the same places, and people gravitate. But what's so great about this is it really gives people such a niche to kind of find what their interests are. There's something for everyone, and you're not feeling like you're on top of people all the time. But, we do have many, many different types and classes of ships. Our Radiance class and our Vision class, and ships tend to go to a lot of destinations, as well as our Brilliance class. They go up, to all different types of, Alaska and Europe and Australia, a lot of, Asia, scenic destinations. The three newest classes of ships that we have would be your Freedom class, which is basically just an extension on our Voyager class. And then the Quantum class is a completely different ship. I always say Quantum class ships are kind of like Celebrity and Oasis had a baby and made Quantum class, because they're very, they have a lot of the modern luxury and feel of a Celebrity ship, but they have all the fun, whimsical stuff that you'll see on board an Oasis class ship. And then the key to the Oasis class ships is really that neighborhood concept. There are 7 different neighborhoods. We have 2 neighborhoods, Central Park and Boardwalk, that have staterooms in those neighborhoods where they have balconies that look towards the interior of the ship. We also have exterior balconies looking towards the ocean. But the Central Park is like a beautiful live park with all kinds of restaurants and shops. The Boardwalk is, where our aqua theater is, and we have all kinds of fun things and zip lining and rock climbing and all kinds of, the ultimate abyss on some of our ships, which is a dry slide, all kinds of fun things going there. So there's all these different neighborhoods that we have on board the Oasis class ships, and there's 7 different types of entertainment shows that you can see on board an Oasis class ship. And I think what's so great about Royal Caribbean and all of the offerings that we have is, you go on a lot of these smaller ships with some of the competing brands, they really don't have the ability to offer the wide variety of entertainment that Royal Caribbean offers, or activities, because their hardware just doesn't support the space for it. But when you come on board a Royal Caribbean ship, there's all these shows, there's all these activities, and everything is complimentary. So you're not paying for that Broadway show or that aqua theater show or that rock climbing or zip lining. All of that's included with your cruise.
Yeah. And it is, I mean, if somebody says, oh, I don't like to cruise, I get bored too easily. Honest to goodness, if you want to be bored, do not get on one of these.
Yes.
Don't sail with Royal Caribbean. If you want to, and there are cruise lines who are out there for the people who just want to chill and don't do anything. And you can do that with you guys.
Absolutely.
That's definitely an option. But look at this, folks.
Yep, these are all some signature activities that we have on board our ships. We have Ripcord by iFly, which is skydiving at sea. And currently that we have 2 ships that will be next summer in Alaska, Quantum and Ovation. So you're going to be able to skydive and look at a glacier, which is going to be the coolest thing ever. You also have the surfing flow rider system. You also have in the center, what this is on the Mariner of the Seas, and this is a bungee cord trampoline virtual reality experience. So you're wearing a virtual reality goggles. You're seeing a whole different kind of track and race that you're kind of going through in your virtual reality goggles, but you're jumping up and down on a bungee cord experience. So this is a really fun thing. We have just, zip lining and rock climbing and ice skating and miniature golf and water slides and dry slides and bumper cars, and the list goes on and on.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, on Freedom of the Seas, I've sailed on Freedom of the Seas probably about 2017, a couple of years before. Yeah, and that's my husband's favorite ship, by the way, just so you know. Although Anthem may come up as a, I don't know. He may like it just about as well, but he went nuts over Freedom of the Seas. That was.
You know what I'll let you know too? All of our Freedom class ships, Royal Caribbean's been going through an amplification process the past couple years, and we have amplified we've done 6 ships. We were scheduled to do 10 ships, but obviously COVID has put a little halt to that. But we spent about $200 million on each one of these ships, and all 3 Freedom class ships, as well as all the Voyager class ships, at some point will have that completed process of amplification where they're getting water slides and all kinds of fun things on board the ships.
I love that term, amplification. I love that. So it's not just like going to dry dock. It's like taking it up a couple of notches
Absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
more.
Yep, absolutely. Dry dock, I always say, is like the guts, right? The stuff you don't see, the engines, all that stuff that nobody. But amplification, it's like the fun stuff, the stuff we're going to actually get to experience. So
yeah. So Abby, what do you when you're sailing out there? What do you like to do on board? What are some of your favorite activities?
Well, I love wine, so I love going to vintages. That's one of my favorite spots to spend some time. I love our specialty restaurants. I try and make myself get to the gym. I do, and the spa, obviously, I love that. I used to be more of a sun person than I've been in the past, but I still get out there. But I just think it's just such a fun experience. And I've had the opportunity and great fortune to just go to so many wonderful places that it's just I think that every trip brings something different. But I think our shows, our entertainment. I mean, I literally have seen some of our production shows that we've created in our studios, and it's some of the best entertainment that I've ever seen. And I'm blown away over and over again by what we come up with.
Royal Caribbean is known as one of the top cruise lines, if not the top, for your onboard entertainment.
Absolutely.
People talk about lame cruise ship entertainment. Those days are gone, folks. First of all, with pretty much all of the cruise lines, they have really stepped up their game with regard to entertainment. And Royal Caribbean is at the top of the top. They are known for their entertainment. And you are bored on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. You are, your fault. I mean, that's on you. It's not on, because it's not like you don't have options and lots of them.
Yeah.
The ice show. Yes, the ice show is amazing, and it's just incredible to watch. I just love it. What about destinations, Abby? What are some of your favorites?
I mean, obviously, I live in South Florida, so I've been to the Caribbean many, many times, and I love that. Obviously, that's great. But I have to tell you, I had the opportunity to go to Alaska, and I thought that was wonderful and beautiful. 2 years ago, my mother and I and my aunt and my cousin, we went to Australia, New Zealand, and that was absolutely unbelievable. And I've also done the Mediterranean, and I thought that was, for people that maybe haven't been to Europe, I thought that was a really great destination to go. I think there's certain destinations that I believe that you should only cruise, and I feel like Alaska and Australia are for sure two of those destinations. I think the Baltic as well is one of those destinations. You're really going into destinations that, like Australia is not an easy place to get to from North America. The last thing I wanted to do after sitting on a plane for as long as I did not want to get back on another plane. So I was thrilled to get on a cruise and just unpack and enjoy that whole experience and get to see all of Australia and New Zealand. It was really a wonderful experience.
It's crazy, and you guys have a new destination.
Yes, we do.
This is one our clients are raving about this, and folks, it is. If you do a Caribbean cruise, chances are with Royal Caribbean, this is going to be on that itinerary. Kevin, can you get that little video up about Coco Cay?
Yes, this is very exciting.
I love this. Our
Yeah.
clients are absolutely in love with this. And
Yes.
Abby, as I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, Coco Cay is so popular and there's so much to do there that you actually have some itineraries that do a second stop there.
Yeah, so basically, Coco Cay is a destination we've been going to for years and years and years, but we've always had to tender there. And so we also, based upon the fact that we were tendering, none of our big ships could get into the destination, and sometimes we would have to miss the destination. But we decided to build a dock, and we went ahead and we spent $200 million redoing this island to call it the perfect day. And the whole concept is the thrill or the chill. So because there's these two concepts of thrill or chill, it made sense to us to say on certain itineraries, it might make sense to go twice to the destination. That maybe someone wants to go and have this great water slide fun activity day one day, and then the next day they just want to go and relax. But it's only on the itineraries that tend to be Monday through Friday itinerary on the, that will go there twice. But it's just getting rave reviews. And what's so great about this destination is something that's different is we built all the kitchens on the island. Everything there is complimentary, obviously with the exception of your beverage package. But the umbrellas are complimentary. The beach chairs are complimentary. The towels, you go and you can eat. Best cheeseburger, hands down, that I've ever had in my life was on Coco Cay. I mean, unbelievable. And then they have healthy options for those that want it. But it's just a great area. And then the Coco Beach, the club, is something that we just had the opportunity to open in January prior to COVID. And that is a wonderful experience as well. And that's a private area that's got its own beach club. It's got an infinity pool. It's got also all these overwater cabanas and beach cabanas that you can also rent if you choose to. But that's got an entry point into the beach club. I believe it starts at $59 for kids and $99 for adults to get access. And it's got a much more upgraded lunch with like lobster and things like that. But it's a fabulous, fabulous destination to be able to go to. And then if you get one of those beach cabanas or overwater cabanas, you get 8 people that can access the beach club for the price of that cabana. So it also kind of makes sense to maybe get one of those cabanas because you get the opportunity to have that private space for your group. And then you also have access to the beach club as well.
Lovely, lovely. So what about timing? What times of the year? What do you like to do as far as when do you like to sail? Any advice on that?
Well, I think if you're a kind of person that has got the flexibility to kind of go whenever you can, if you're looking for the best pricing, I think you're going to find the best pricing. There's a couple times a year. I'd say May is a great time of year. September, October tends to be a good time of year. The first week of December tends to be a good time of year. And then after the New Year's holiday, that first week also tends to be a really good price point. When you get into that spring break, Christmas break, summer travel time, Thanksgiving, you tend to have a lot more families gathering and things. So obviously the pricing is a little bit higher. So I tend to like those, times. I don't have small children, so I'm kind of flexible as when I can go. So I tend to travel, more that May or September time tends to work for me a little bit.
And things don't feel as crowded. It's not quite as hot in the Caribbean or Europe if you do those slightly earlier or later season trips. And those of you who watch this often know that I am not a heat person. I'd much rather put on a light jacket in the Mediterranean for October than to melt into a puddle in July. So. Do you have any packing tips? Is there anything that you always tuck into your luggage that and what do people bring that they should just leave at home?
So some of the things that I personally bring that I'm obsessed with is I have this little, because, cruise ships don't necessarily have outlets everywhere you want them, right? They're not all over the place. And I found this really great thing on Amazon. It's like about this big. and it's got two regular plugs that you can plug in, which is great. But then it also has two USB jacks. So you could also plug in your phone or something else into your iPad or whatever computer into the USB jacks, but then I still have plugs for my blow dryer or whatever else I'm going to be using. So I tend to bring that everywhere I go. That's a huge thing for me. And I always bring some type of fold-up bag that I can, throw some extra carry-on stuff with or something if I'm shopping. Yes. And things not to bring, I would say, I have to tell you the craziest thing I ever had someone bring on a ship is they brought a blender. And they tried to go ahead and get their blender on board to make their own, what are not margaritas, but
the pina colada things.
And I was like, we are not letting you bring a blender on board the ship.
My gosh, can you even imagine? I mean, I've never had a client ask about bringing their blender.
And irons as well. Do not bring irons.
Yeah. No can do. If it generates heat other than a blow dryer, and your blow dryers are provided. I think there's one ship out there somewhere, and it's not a Royal Caribbean. There's one ship I think that doesn't have blow dryers on board, but leave it at home. You don't need it. They're there for you, and just besides that, who wants to mess with all that stuff when you're on a cruise? It's gonna, the humidity and the wind. Forget it. Just leave it at home anyway. So our elephant in the room these days is the COVID situation. And there has been a lot of stuff going on just the last few days with this. So is there any information that you're able to share? Any updates or insights, new protocols, just whatever you can share, Abby?
Yeah. So for those of you that might not be aware, the Royal Caribbean Group, which encompasses Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, Celebrity Cruise Lines, Azamara Cruise Lines, Silver Seas Cruise Lines, our entire group has gone into partnership with NCL and all of their brands that fall under the NCL company. And we created a healthy sail panel. And what that healthy sail panel, it's has some of the most renowned people that you've ever seen in public health, in immunization, from the FDA, from just leaders in the industry that you've got to go and Google who the Healthy Sail Panel is for Royal Caribbean, and you will see they all have backgrounds and relationships with the CDC, and they've worked in pharmaceutical companies. They really are just the leaders in what they do. And Dr. Scott Gottlieb is overseeing this panel, who has obviously been one of the people in the forefront of this whole conversation. And so both of our companies came together because we realized this is a collective effort to get our industry back up and running. So that Healthy Sail Panel has been working for the past couple months, and they just yesterday submitted their 75-page document to the CDC with all of the recommendations that we feel that we can go ahead and implement. Some of these recommendations, might be temporary, some may be permanent, but all of these things have been what we've submitted to the CDC. CLIA has also gone ahead and submitted to the CDC, and now we're waiting for the CDC to review all the documents that we have submitted and that CLIA has submitted, and they're going to come back to us with, how we proceed from here. But, I think that this is something that, our industry is taking very, very serious. This is something we want to get right. We want to do it the right way. I have to say that I think when we are back in the water, we will probably come back with a short itinerary. We will most likely see that itinerary going to Coco Cay, and we will start small, and we will most likely be at a reduced capacity when we come back. So, all of these things will start to change when we feel it is safe and prudent to do so. We're not just going to look at this from a profit standpoint. We are looking at this from what is the right thing to do. None of the cruise lines, all of them have collectively agreed. Nobody wants to compete on health. Everybody wants this standard to be above and beyond for all of the brands.
And you want this to be a successful relaunch. I know when cruising comes back, we have been very encouraged by what we have seen in Europe, that we now have
Absolutely.
some big ships sailing and without incident. So if they can do it, we can do it here. So Abby, do you think there's a certain any significance? You guys recently brought 3 specific ships back over, and they're in the Miami area now. Do you think those might be among the first to sail? Do you think?
I mean, I don't know. They really have not. I'm telling you, it's like Fort Knox. This information, they have not given us the information. I know at this moment we say we're sailing November 1st, but I don't have any information if there'll be additional extensions or what it looks like. But I do know that we are closer to getting back in the water than further apart, further away from it. And I feel very encouraged by what I've read so far, and I think the way that we have gone about this is so the right way to do this, and we've done the research and we've done it with our partners and our competitors, and we are all collectively working together to make sure that this is really the smart and safest way for us to get back to sailing.
Very good, and I am so with you. I just hope that the CDC and y'all may have listened to me before and know that I call that the Center to Discourage Cruising. But
I love
Abby,
that. Never heard that. Love it.
Abby probably can't actually say things like that, but I don't have any filter that keeps me from and I hope that they get on board. You guys, the cruise industry has just worked tirelessly. And I know, when something happens, there will be something happen down the line. I mean, I don't care if you're on an airplane, if you're at a resort, something, there are going to inevitably be some incidents, but you guys are prepared. You have plans in place. There are protocols you have put in place. So I personally, I cannot wait to get back. I want to be one of the first in line. And Abby, is there anything we've missed? Anything we really need to touch on that we've missed today?
Well, I think that, obviously I want people to realize that, based upon the fact that we are going to have a reduced capacity coming back, we are seeing pricing going up for next year. And I think that's like a misconception for people. They think that, I'll be able to wait to the last minute, get a rock bottom price. And that's just not the case. I think that, our brand for years has been trending. The old days of waiting to the last minute, getting the deal were there, but that has shifted dramatically in the past couple of years. I'd say the past 5 to 6 years. Yeah. And now it's the early bird really does get the worm, and you really do get that better price. But even more so in this environment, because you're starting to see that there's such a demand. We had so many canceled sailings. So many of our customers have future cruise credits that they need to use. So you're really starting to see that pricing starting to increase. So if you're that cruiser that really cares about where you are in the ship and what kind of cabin you have, and you're looking for that best price, you really do want to do that stuff now.
Absolutely.
As opposed to waiting until there's the price is now cost prohibitive, or the space or stateroom that you want is maybe not available.
Yeah, and reports from travel agent community is that bookings are going strong, demand is there, and with that combined with reduced capacity, folks, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know, get ahead of the game. Do not try to wait until May to book a cruise for next July. You chances are not going to be able to find space on any ship that you want to sail on. So,
and keep something in mind also, you always are able to price protect. So if for some reason you're the kind of person that says, well, I want to wait to see if the price comes down, if it comes down, you'll always be able to look and see if you can price protect. But getting that space, locking in that deal, I personally have not seen the pricing coming down closer to sailing. So to me, I would say do it now.
Very, very good. I thank you for bringing that up for us. So I think that's pretty much bringing us to the end of our time here, watching the clock. But just want to, Kevin, you have something to give people here if they want to be in the drawing for that special prize we have for our September drawing.
Yeah, after hearing Abby, I've decided to change the prize. We're going to give away a blender. No, we're not. Here's the prize, and we're going to have a secret word, secret phrase. Enter the secret phrase to be eligible for the drawing to win this luggage scale and book. Just type in the comments, "I'm ready," and you'll be entered in the drawing that we will be doing at the end of the month.
Most excellent. So this week it can enter again next week. Kevin, next week, our sandals guest has had to rebook for the following week. They had a conflict. So you and I are going to be talking about group cruises and how you can take your friends, family, your fraternal organization, any kind of group that you might be a part of, how you could bring them on board a fabulous cruise ship. Royal Caribbean is perfect for groups, and how you might even travel free or even generate thousands. We've had group leaders who generated thousands of dollars of revenue for specific kinds of groups. So if that's your thing, we can make that happen too. So be sure to join us next week for that program, and Kevin and I will be telling you more about group travel. So thank you again, Abby. I so appreciate your time.
So much for your time.
And I love your enthusiasm. And love all you shared about Royal Caribbean. Thanks everybody who listened. Be sure to come back next week and hear about groups, and tell your friends. If you know somebody who's part of a church or has a big family or whatever, let them know that we're going to be here talking about group travel next week. So thanks again, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.